My beloved soul, listen carefully. This is not ordinary attraction, this is not a random feeling, this is not a fleeting emotion that will fade with time, this is a sacred stirring written by the hand of God Himself, and if you are hearing these words right now, it is because heaven has marked this very moment for you. My beloved soul, listen carefully, what you are experiencing is not common, it is not shallow, it is not accidental, God chose you both for a sacred union, and before I go any further, I must obey the Spirit and ask you to respond in faith. If this message is already touching something deep within you, type, "I receive this," in the comments as a declaration that you accept what heaven is speaking over your life. Like this video so the light can reach another waiting heart, subscribe and click the bell so you do not miss what God is unfolding, and if you feel led in your heart to send a super thanks as a personal act of faith, do it only as love and gratitude, never pressure, never obligation, and never connected to receiving blessings or miracles, because God's grace cannot be purchased and His promises are freely given. My beloved soul, you were led here on purpose. This is not a coincidence. Heaven is watching. God has not forgotten you. Do not skip this moment, because what is being revealed is sacred. The attraction you feel is deeper than chemistry, it is deeper than appearance, it is deeper than shared interests or convenient timing. It carries weight. It carries destiny. It carries a holy echo that your spirit recognized before your mind could understand it. When you first felt it, you questioned yourself. You tried to dismiss it. You told yourself it was too intense, too sudden, too spiritual to be real. But hear this, God is not the author of confusion, and when He aligns two souls, there is a recognition that transcends logic. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 that He has made everything beautiful in its time. Everything. Including this connection. Including this stirring. Including this meeting of hearts. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. What you call attraction, heaven calls alignment. What you call longing, God calls preparation. You have been in seasons of waiting, seasons of silence, seasons where you cried and wondered if love would ever find you in a way that honored your spirit. You prayed. You surrendered. You let go of what hurt you. You walked away from what dishonored you. And heaven saw every tear. Psalm 56 verse 8 says that God collects your tears in His bottle. Not one was wasted. Not one was ignored. Do you understand what that means? It means that this sacred union is not forming on the surface, it is forming in the deep places where your prayers have been stored. This is not ordinary attraction, because ordinary attraction does not require inner transformation. But this connection came after growth. After breaking. After healing. After nights where you whispered, "Lord, prepare me." My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. You think this is about feelings, but it is about calling. You think this is about romance, but it is about purpose. God chose you both for a sacred union, not simply to enjoy each other, but to build something that reflects His heart. Two healed souls coming together to form a covenant that honors Him. Two people who understand pain, so they can cherish peace. Two spirits refined by fire, so they can recognize purity when they see it. When you feel that unexplainable peace around them, that is not ordinary. When you sense safety instead of anxiety, that is not common. When your spirit feels calm instead of chaotic, that is divine confirmation. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33 says God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And that peace you feel, even in the uncertainty, is heaven whispering, "Pay attention." My beloved soul, you were not brought here to be entertained, you were brought here to be awakened. The enemy tried to convince you that love would always hurt, that every connection would collapse, that your heart was too tender for something lasting. But God has been rewriting your story. He has been healing your patterns. He has been teaching you discernment. This is not ordinary attraction because it does not awaken fear, it awakens faith. It does not stir insecurity, it stirs growth. It does not make you shrink, it makes you rise. Stay with me, my beloved soul. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. You see, sacred unions are not rushed. They are refined. God often separates before He unites. He prepares individually before He joins together. Think of Abraham and Sarah, the promise came long before the fulfillment. Think of Joseph, the dream came before the palace. God's timing is precise. Isaiah 60 verse 22 says, "When the time is right, I the Lord will make it happen." Not when you force it. Not when you panic. Not when you beg. When the time is right. And this connection feels different because something in you knows the timing is shifting. The waiting season is not punishment, it was preparation. The silence was not rejection, it was refinement. The tears were not weakness, they were watering the soil of your future. My beloved soul, do not scroll away from this sacred confirmation. Heaven is watching your response. God has not forgotten you. The attraction you feel carries responsibility. Sacred union is not built on lust, it is built on legacy. It is not built on impulse, it is built on obedience. God chose you both because there is something in your spirits that mirrors His intention. You both have been shaped by loss. You both have learned hard lessons. You both have been humbled. And humility is the foundation of covenant. This is why it feels intense. This is why it feels rare. Your spirit recognizes what your flesh cannot fully explain. Song of Solomon 3 verse 4 says, "I have found the one whom my soul loves." Notice it says soul. Not eyes. Not emotions. Soul. And that is what you are experiencing, a soul recognition orchestrated by heaven. My beloved soul, stay anchored, something deeper is unfolding. The enemy wants you to doubt it. He wants you to sabotage it. He wants you to run from it because it feels too sacred. But this is not ordinary attraction, and ordinary fear cannot destroy what God has ordained. You must guard your heart, yes, but you must not close it. You must move with wisdom, yes, but you must not move with suspicion. Proverbs 3 verse 5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." You will not be able to reason your way through this. You must pray through it. You must surrender through it. My beloved soul, do not skip this holy moment. The reason this connection feels divinely orchestrated is because it is awakening parts of you that were asleep. It is calling you higher. It is exposing areas that still need healing. Sacred union requires wholeness. And God will not join two halves, He joins two wholes. That is why He allowed the breaking. That is why He allowed the solitude. That is why He allowed you to sit in seasons where nothing seemed to move. He was making you ready. He was aligning your spirit. He was teaching you patience. James 1 verse 4 says, "Let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." Lacking nothing. My beloved soul, heaven is confirming that you are no longer lacking what you once lacked. You have grown. You have matured. You have healed. And now the attraction you feel is not rooted in need, it is rooted in alignment. Stay with me till the end, beloved, because this revelation is still rising. God chose you both for a sacred union that will challenge you, refine you, and bless you. It will not always be easy, but it will always be purposeful. Sacred does not mean effortless. It means intentional. It means covered. It means watched over by heaven. And heaven is watching. This is not a fantasy. This is not wishful thinking. This is divine orchestration. The very fact that you feel both excitement and reverence tells you it is different. Ordinary attraction excites the flesh. Sacred attraction humbles the spirit. It makes you pray. It makes you examine yourself. It makes you want to become better. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, something powerful is being sealed in your heart. The sacred union God is forming will reflect restoration. Joel 2 verse 25 declares, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. The years of heartbreak. The years of disappointment. The years where you almost gave up. Restoration does not come randomly. It comes intentionally. And what you feel is not simply new love, it is redeemed love. It is love after lessons. Love after surrender. Love after growth. That is why it carries weight. That is why it feels holy. My beloved soul, hear this clearly, God has not forgotten you. You were led here on purpose. This message is your confirmation that what you are sensing is not foolish, it is faithful. Do not rush it. Do not force it. Let God write it. Let Him pace it. Let Him breathe on it. Because when God joins two people for a sacred union, He protects what He ordains. He sustains what He establishes. He completes what He begins. Philippians 1 verse 6 says He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Completion. That includes your love story. Stay with me, my beloved soul, the final word is near. This is not ordinary attraction. God chose you both for a sacred union that will testify of His timing, His mercy, and His faithfulness. What you prayed for is closer than you think. What you cried for is forming. What you surrendered is returning in purified form. Do not fear the depth of it. Do not fear the intensity of it. Embrace the preparation. Embrace the healing. Embrace the process. Because sacred unions are not accidents. They are assignments wrapped in love. And I declare over you now, in the mighty name of Jesus, that what God has written over your connection will not be erased by doubt, will not be delayed by fear, and will not be destroyed by past pain. Peace is settling over you even now. Clarity is rising within you even now. Hope is breathing again even now. My beloved soul, what you have been praying for is very near. Heaven is watching. God has not forgotten you. This is not a coincidence. You were led here on purpose. And the sacred union chosen by God is unfolding in divine, perfect, unstoppable timing. Receive it with peace. Walk in it with faith. Expect it with holy anticipation. It is coming. It is forming. And it will glorify God. My beloved soul, as this sacred unfolding continues, I need you to quiet every voice that has tried to label this as mere emotion, because what heaven is birthing cannot be reduced to chemistry. Listen carefully, what you feel is layered, it is spiritual, it is purposeful, and it is protected. This is why it has unsettled you and comforted you at the same time. This is why you feel both awe and trembling. Sacred unions carry weight because they are watched by heaven. Angels pay attention when destiny aligns. God does not casually weave two lives together. He does it with intention, with precision, with divine foresight. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what I am about to say is sealing something over your spirit. The attraction is not just about what you see in them, it is about what God sees in both of you. He sees the scars you survived. He sees the prayers you whispered in secret. He sees the promises you made to never settle again. And He has honored that. This is not a coincidence. You were led here on purpose. There were paths you could have taken that would have led to distraction, but heaven redirected you. There were people who tried to enter your life prematurely, but God blocked them. There were seasons where you thought nothing was happening, yet beneath the surface, alignment was taking place. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end, because something sacred is being revealed to you layer by layer. The reason this connection feels holy is because it touches your future, not just your present. It speaks to your calling, not just your comfort. God chose you both for a sacred union that will echo beyond yourselves. It will not just bless you, it will influence others. It will show what healed love looks like. It will show what patient love produces. It will show that when God restores, He restores fully. Romans 8 verse 28 declares that all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to His purpose. All things. Even the heartbreak. Even the delay. Even the confusion you once endured. It was all shaping you for something higher. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. You once asked God to remove what was not for you, even when it hurt. You once prayed, Lord, close every door that will waste my time. And He answered you, though the answer felt like loss. Now you are seeing why certain things fell apart. Now you are seeing why certain people walked away. It was not rejection, it was redirection. Sacred union cannot be built on unresolved wounds. God had to heal you first. He had to teach you your worth. He had to show you how to stand alone so that when you stand together, it is by choice, not desperation. My beloved soul, hear this deeply, this connection is awakening responsibility in you. You are no longer entertaining love casually. You are discerning it prayerfully. That shift alone is proof of growth. You are no longer chasing attention. You are guarding your peace. And because you value peace, you recognize it when you feel it. This is not ordinary attraction because it does not pull you into chaos. It invites you into covenant. It does not tempt you into haste. It invites you into patience. Stay with me, beloved, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. Sacred union requires surrender. Not control. Not manipulation. Surrender. You cannot force timing. You cannot rush maturity. You cannot script what God is writing. Proverbs 16 verse 9 says, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." Even now, steps are being directed. Conversations are being aligned. Hearts are being softened. Barriers are being removed. And you may not see all of it, but heaven does. Heaven is watching. God has not forgotten you. My beloved soul, the enemy will attempt to plant doubt in this sacred space. He will whisper, "What if it fails?" He will remind you of past pain. He will try to convince you that this is too good to be real. But listen carefully, fear is not prophecy. Trauma is not discernment. Just because something once hurt you does not mean everything will. God is not repeating your past, He is redeeming it. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17 says that if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. That includes how you love. That includes who you love. That includes what love feels like. My beloved soul, do not scroll away from this holy confirmation. Something in you knows this is different. You do not feel frantic. You feel intentional. You do not feel anxious. You feel aware. You are not trying to impress. You are trying to align. That is growth. That is evidence that God has been working within you. Sacred union is not about losing yourself in another person. It is about finding a partner who honors the person God shaped you to be. It is about walking side by side, not one dragging the other. It is about two spirits choosing each other daily under God's covering. Stay with me, my beloved soul, because this next truth is heavy with glory. The reason this attraction feels intense is because it carries assignment. You are not just drawn to their smile or their voice. You are drawn to their spirit. You sense resilience in them. You sense depth. You sense something familiar, as if your souls met in prayer before they met in person. And that recognition is sacred. Ephesians 2 verse 10 says we are God's workmanship, created for good works that He prepared in advance for us to do. Prepared in advance. That includes who walks beside you. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment. You have prayed for a love that honors God. You have asked for a connection that does not distract you from your purpose but strengthens it. And now that heaven is answering, you must respond with maturity. Guard it in prayer. Cover it with wisdom. Move slowly enough to hear God clearly. Sacred unions thrive in patience. They collapse in haste. Let God set the rhythm. Let Him establish the foundation. Let Him confirm what He has begun. Because when God is the architect, the structure will stand. My beloved soul, feel the peace settling over you even now. This message is not hype. It is confirmation. It is heaven whispering, trust me. Psalm 37 verse 7 says, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Rest. Not strive. Not panic. Rest. The attraction you feel does not require anxiety. It requires faith. It requires trust that if God chose you both for a sacred union, He will sustain what He started. Stay with me till the end, beloved, because we are approaching something powerful. There will be moments of testing. There will be moments where communication must grow. There will be moments where ego must die. But sacred does not mean perfect. It means committed to growth. It means anchored in God. It means willing to choose love even when emotions fluctuate. And you are ready for that now in a way you were not before. That is why the timing matters. That is why this feels aligned. My beloved soul, heaven is watching how you steward this. Not with fear, but with expectation. Speak life over it. Pray over it. Release control over it. If it is from God, it will not slip through your hands. What God ordains cannot be stolen by insecurity. What He establishes cannot be dismantled by doubt. And I declare over you now, this is not ordinary attraction. It is sacred. It is intentional. It is watched by heaven. What you have been waiting for is unfolding in divine order. Do not rush it. Do not fear it. Receive it with humility. Walk in it with faith. And know with certainty, my beloved soul, that God has not forgotten you. This is not a coincidence. You were led here on purpose, and what He is joining together in holiness will blossom in peace, in stability, and in lasting joy. The sacred union is nearer than you think, and what you prayed for is stepping into form even now. My beloved soul, as we come deeper into this revelation, I need you to breathe in the gravity of what heaven is doing, because this is not surface-level emotion, this is spiritual orchestration. Listen carefully. The reason you cannot dismiss this connection is because it is intertwined with your obedience. God chose you both for a sacred union, and sacred unions are never random, they are assignments wrapped in affection. This is why you feel accountable for how you handle it. This is why you feel protective over something that has not even fully manifested yet. Heaven is watching. Not to judge you, but to guide you. Not to pressure you, but to prepare you. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is being sealed right now is confidence in God's timing. You have seen what happens when you move ahead of Him. You have felt the ache of forcing what was not aligned. But this time feels different. This time there is restraint. There is prayer. There is wisdom rising where impulse once ruled. That is evidence that you have changed. That is evidence that you are ready. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor." Notice it speaks of labor. Sacred union is not laziness, it is partnership. It is building together under God's covering. And you feel that potential in this connection, not fantasy, not illusion, but foundation. My beloved soul, stay with me till this final word settles in your spirit, because something powerful is about to anchor your heart. The attraction feels holy because it is awakening vision. You are not only imagining moments, you are sensing mission. You are not only dreaming of affection, you are discerning alignment. God does not unite two people merely for comfort, He unites them for completion of purpose. And the reason you both had to walk separate roads first is because identity had to be established before unity could be sustained. You needed to know who you were in God before joining with someone else. You needed to break patterns before building covenant. You needed to heal before holding hands with destiny. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has one more layer to reveal. There will be confirmations. There will be clarity. There will be peace that surpasses understanding, just as Philippians 4 verse 7 promises. But there will also be moments where faith is required. Sacred union is not driven by constant emotion, it is sustained by covenant choice. It is two people saying, "We will honor God here." And that decision alone invites divine protection. The enemy cannot break what both hearts have surrendered to God. He can whisper, but he cannot override obedience. And you, my beloved soul, are learning obedience in love. You are learning patience in attraction. You are learning discernment in desire. That is maturity. That is growth. That is readiness. This is not ordinary attraction because it does not make you lose focus on God, it makes you seek Him more. It does not distract your prayer life, it deepens it. It does not weaken your standards, it strengthens them. You want this done right. You want this blessed. You want this built on rock, not sand. And Jesus said in Matthew 7 verse 24 that whoever hears His words and does them is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Storms will come, winds will blow, but it will stand. My beloved soul, that is what God is offering you, something that stands. Not because it is perfect, but because it is positioned on Him. Now hear this final truth with your spirit wide open. The waiting season is ending not because you demanded it, but because you endured it. The tears are turning into testimony. The silence is turning into speech. The longing is turning into fulfillment. This sacred union is not a reward for perfection, it is a blessing for perseverance. You stayed faithful when it was lonely. You kept your heart soft when it was easier to harden. You kept praying when nothing seemed to move. And heaven recorded every act of trust. Galatians 6 verse 9 declares, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." Due season. Not delayed season. Not denied season. Due season. And my beloved soul, your due season is approaching. This is why this connection feels different. It carries timing. It carries weight. It carries peace. You do not need to chase it. You do not need to manipulate it. If God chose you both for a sacred union, He will orchestrate every detail. He will align conversations. He will expose anything hidden. He will confirm what is real. And if for any reason something shifts, trust that He is still protecting you. But what I sense over you now is stability. I sense alignment. I sense heaven breathing on this. My beloved soul, receive this with reverence. This is not ordinary attraction. It is sacred. It is intentional. It is guided. Heaven is watching, and God has not forgotten you. This is not a coincidence. You were led here on purpose. What you prayed for is nearer than you think. What you cried over is being restored. What you surrendered is returning purified and blessed. I declare over you now that fear will not sabotage this. Doubt will not poison this. Past pain will not define this. You will move with wisdom. You will walk with peace. You will trust with courage. And if this is the one God has chosen to walk beside you, it will unfold with clarity, dignity, and divine covering. Rest tonight knowing that your love story is not in human hands alone. It is in God's hands. And what He writes, no one can erase. What He joins, no one can divide. What He promises, He fulfills. My beloved soul, expect peace. Expect confirmation. Expect joy. The sacred union chosen by God is forming in divine order, and very soon, what you have felt in your spirit will stand before you in reality. Hold on to faith. Walk in obedience. Stay surrendered. And watch how beautifully God completes what He has begun. Type Amen.